The diminishing popularity of print journalism leaves a lot of college journalism majors in a pretty interesting situation. On one hand, a lot of us are familiar with print journalism, and a lot of us strive for print journalism. But on the other hand, journalism is quickly shifting to an age of Twitter, of Facebook, and of electronic newspapers. So on one hand, we want to stick with something that we're very familiar with. On the other hand, everything that we know in the industry is changing. For a lot of college kids, it's a pretty delicate balance in terms of what we take from the journalism that is now becoming the journalism of old, and what we take away from the journalism that is developing in front of us. And for a lot of college kids, that balance is what's going to make or break their careers.
Everyone who is in journalism today needs to be able to file to the web. In other words, at the Globe we just call it blogging, and really it's putting news items on our website, but you can put it directly on there. And the other thing is almost all writers have to be able to speak on camera. They have to do video. And then we also ask them to write a really good story. So it is, all these skills are necessary, and I think the young people are more attuned to it. It's harder for someone. Dan Shaughnessy, it took 2 years for him to finally get to get on Twitter. It's more difficult, and the young people have the advantage because it comes naturally to them.
New media has definitely had an effect on sports coverage. You watch your Twitter timeline during like the baseball winter meetings, and you're always looking for the latest contract or the latest not contract in some cases. Last year, Twitter was how I found out Albert Pujols was leaving the Cardinals. So it's obviously made a huge difference, and everywhere wants you to live tweet games. It's always like one of the lines in job postings, being familiar with Twitter and Twitter coverage of sports. But the one thing you have to be careful about, which we saw in the Penn State case, is wanting to be first. Joe Paterno's death was reported early, and just because Twitter makes it that easy, you have to make sure you're still correct. So it has a few ethical issues, but it's definitely progressed.
It's really important. In fact, I'd say it's a necessity. It's really just intrinsically tied in with all parts of our business now. I was just at a news meeting this morning where the Metro Department is doing a story that they found out about on Facebook. And just the Monday, I was sitting right here at this desk at 6 o'clock at night, and the sports section was basically done and prepared. And we were looking it over, and I turned to look at my Twitter account, and there it is, BC's named a new football coach. Just moments after that, Julian Edelman placed on injured reserve by the Patriots. And then the Red Sox signed Shane Victorino. We had to redo the whole paper. But the point is, we found out about it quickly on Twitter. And I think that writers, if you're going to be doing something, an important story, and that to use Twitter, have people retweet it, you increase your traffic, you increase just on your own website, but you just increase the amount of people who read your stories. The importance of your story can be doubled, tripled, or even more by using Twitter.
I tweet everything. I tweet all my stories so that people will know that they're there, because if I don't tweet them, how else will people know? I got my college hockey news job because I was aggressively tweeting at Joe Maloney when he would say bad things about Northeastern hockey, because at the time I was just a women's soccer beat reporter and still a hockey fangirl. But I had been tweeting out my soccer stories just because it seemed like the appropriate thing to do. So he knew that I was a journalism student who was interested in hockey.
Right now at the Globe, we're read about half and half still in print, half on the web. And just the attention we have to pay to the web as an editor, as a planner. When I used to plan for a big event like a Super Bowl, I would just worry about the newspaper. Now I have to worry about the newspaper and the web and all the aspects of the web. Who's going to blog at what hour, and who's going to be at a certain place in time to film the video that we're going to put up. Even sometimes who's going to go somewhere else to do TV for another outlet. We have to plan all of these things. And so really it doubles the planning, because half the people are getting their information on the web now, and we can't ignore that. We can't pretend that it's not important. It's just as important as the paper. And it's a culture change that was difficult in our business. But I think we're moving in the right direction now.
Social media, it's made more of a difference than I expected it to in my career. I definitely have a few people that I tweet back and forth with about professional sports and college sports. I'm applying for a bunch of summer internships, and actually I had a pretty decent Twitter relationship with a Cardinals beat writer at MLB.com. And I sent him a tweet and said, hey, I'm applying for the MLB.com internship, what do you know about it? And he got right back to me and acted as kind of you should totally apply, this is a program, I hear great things. So, like, being able to build those relationships with people in the industry is definitely a plus.
I use this comparison when I'm talking to young writers. It's like shooting free throws. How do you get better shooting free throws, Dwight Howard? I'll tell you how. You practice them. And it's, you need to get out there and write. And no matter what it is, you need to go out and write stories, cover events, do the reporting, and practice your craft. That's how you get better. And if you work hard at it and excel, you'll get noticed.
Going forward, like, on the job search, it's definitely a plus to be able to talk about what I've already done on Twitter and be able to, like, confidently say that I can continue what I've done at Huntington News and for the Boston Globe at a future publication or even a startup. Lots of smaller papers, like, that I could possibly wind up at won't necessarily have the Twitter presence that I've already come from. So knowing that I have the Twitter presence and the, like, repertoire to build on, I can take that with me and do it wherever I need to be doing it and hopefully be successful with it.